and seen the exhibits which were read into the record by Lieutenant Ngwane.
As the court proceeds, we do from on behalf of accused 1 and 2, we do.
What do you want to pursue? Let me understand.
My lord, there are discrepancies with respect to his testimony and the book entry with respect to the timing when he came back onto the scene from those two other scenes, because now, just to put to him that the scene was left unattended for that period of time, and anything could have happened to it, because he didn't return, as he said, at 6 or 7 in the morning. He returned much later at 10:25.
No, but I'm asking you because now we've got documentary evidence in his own hand to say he left at 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. He did this and that and that and that. If it clashes with his evidence, why can't you argue?
Yes, then I can leave it for argument. I can leave it for argument. My learned colleagues will speak for themselves now.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not persuading you, I'm just saying for me.
No, my lord, we cannot just argue on that, my lord, because the witness has testified, my lord, and from the documents that have been submitted yesterday, when listening to that evidence and what has been testified before, my lord, with my respect, with my case, it appears that I need to cross-examine the witness.
On what?
Yes, my lord.
On what?
Or on the question, remember, my lord, my question was, what are the cases that you went to attend?
Yeah, we saw them.
Yes.
We saw them in the exhibits of the Register of Planning and
my lord,
the cases.
my lord, whether we see them or we don't see them, I am still entitled.
Why do you shout? Why do you shout?
I'm sorry, my lord.
Why do you shout?
If I speak too loud.
No, you're not speaking too loud. You're shouting.
Oh, my apologies, my lord. My lord, even if it's there on the documents, however, I still need to cross-examine the witness, my lord. That's my request.
We're talking here like civilized individuals. So you want him to be called back?
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Ngumalo?
Yes, I will appreciate if he is recalled.
Fine, Mr.
Yes, in fact, my lord, there is a discrepancy between the viva voce evidence and the documentary evidence, in the sense that he says that he went to attend the business robbery from the scene of this case. But when one looks at the document, he visited that scene at, I think, 10 to 11 before he went to this case. So there are various questions that I would like to pose to him. If the court can allow us that he be recalled, I'll appreciate it, my lord. Thank you.
Mr. Misi.
I share the same sentiment.
Okay. Mr. Marui, when can you arrange for Mr. Musia to come back?
We can check his availability next week sometime.
Yeah, fine, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but he has to return, okay?
As a courtesy.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. The state calls the next witness. It's Captain Mchali. The witness is on the witness list, my lord.
Captain Mchali?
Yes, Captain Mchali.
Okay.
Captain Charlie, he's just outside. My lord, this witness is going to testify in respect of exhibit that has already been handed up. His full names are Bonkinkosi Blessing Mchali. Mchali is M-T-S-H-A-L-I. The witness is going to testify in respect of Exhibit X2, which has already been handed up. we have attached an annexure there to Exhibit X2 is annexure A and B. We just beg leave to hand up the enlarged copy of Exhibit X2, which has already been handed up, together with the two annexures. My colleagues have been finished with the annexures. My lord, we stepping off the scene slightly. We back at Exhibit X3, the firearm that was found in the possession of accused number 3. The witness is simply going to explain as to why this firearm, which was destined to be destroyed, why it was not eventually destroyed.
Okay. Yes,
amagama aphelele
Bonke Nkosi Blessing Mtshali.
ungaba nenkinga ukuthi uthathe isifungo sokukhuluma iqiniso
Ayikho inkinga but
uyafunga ke ukuthi ubufakazi uzophana ngabo manje kuyiqiniso lodwa iqiniso liphelele ngaphandle kokunye uma ngabe kunjalo phamisa esokudla isandla uthi inkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Inkosi ngisize ngikhuluma iqiniso.
Oath taken, my lord.
yes.
You are a captain in the South African Police and attached to the Visible Policing Unit. Is that correct?
Wena ke ngukapteni lapha nesiphoyiseni sebenzela i-Visible Policing Unit.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is so, yes.
How many years service do you have?
Iminyaka usebenza lapha nesiphoyiseni
25 years.
25 years.
Is it correct that during the period 2019 to 2022, you were attached to Cleveland Police Station as the SAP 13 store commander?
Ngabe kunjalo ukuthi ukusuka ku 20 kulo nyaka 2019 ukufika kulo nyaka 2022 ubusebenzela iCleveland Police Station usebenza khona lapha yana ke iSAP 13 ubu storage lokujan commander lapha.
Yebo kunjalo.
It is indeed so.
Is it correct that you were in charge of, in your capacity as the...
A lot to that line of questioning. It's the evidence should come from the witness, my lord. What were his duties? Thank you, my lord.
The copies, as I say, these are just preliminary issues. And I spoke to Advocate Nisi. He doesn't have a problem, with these preliminary issues. I don't know why the objection was raised, but in any case, my lord, we will not dwell on that. In your capacity as the SAP 13 store commander, what did your duties entail?
Manje njengoba wawusebenza ku SAP 13 njenge store commander umsebenzi wakho wawusho ukuthini ukuthi wenzani
2018 as the CSC, as a CSC commander.
Tigengo 2018 bengi CSC commander.
And by then I was a warrant officer.
Ngaleso sikhathi bengu warrant officer.
Then 2019 in January ngasuswa a CSC.
In January 2019 I was then removed from CSC.
Ngahanjiswa ku SAP 30 store where I commander khona.
Guys, so I then I was sent to SAP 13 store so that I can be a commander of that office.
Just before you proceed, Captain, just explain CSC, what does it stand for?
CSC should tell you.
It's a client service center, which was well with the church office before.
It stands for Client Service Center, which was previously known as the church office.
Yes, you may proceed. What did your details entail?
Umsebenzi wami ile ngwenza lapha SAP store ukugada ama exhibits angenayo ahleli ngaphakathi lapha ukuthi angalahleki.
Now the important duty that is attributed to this SAP 13 store that I am doing there is to keep an eye on the exhibits that are stored in SAP 13 so that these exhibits can get lost.
Okunye futhi okubalekile ukuthi lama exhibit ahle lapha angazi ngesizulu ukuthini kodwa ngesingisi they must not be tampered with.
Further that those exhibits that are stored there should not be tampered with. Kube nesiqiniseko sokuthi le ingxenye zobufakazi abekho abantu abaloku beyibamba okanye izisuso ezibeke lapha ngaphandle kokugunyazwa ukuthi umuntu angakwenza lokho.
Iyo ke umsebenzi wami obalekile ebengiwenza kusukela ngo2019 lapha January up until 2022 October.
January 2019 to October 2022.
So ngo2022 ngangu warrant officer ngaleso sikhathi sa 2019. Then I was promoted in 2022 November to a captain. So ngisese khona ngisayibhekile isengaphansi kwami still a command of SAP 13. Although ngingekho lapha phakathi manje 24 hours or 12 hours.
And then what happened is that I was a warrant officer in 2019. Then I got promoted to being a captain in November 2022. And I'm still the commander in that unit as we speak.
Yeah, when I say kukhona abantu abanye abangaphansi kwami kodwa ngale amnyaka esikhulumela yona la angi physically there.
Even though currently I do have my subordinates, but back then I was personally or physically involved in handling these exhibits. Those were the duties that I was performing in SAP 13.
Right. Now, can you just explain to the court what did your daily duties entailed when, as the SAP 13 store commander? Your interaction with the client service center?
The client service center.
Okay. Ngisebenza lapha till
I worked there from 7 in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So mangiqala usuku ngiyahamba ngiye eCSC.
When I start my day, I go to CSC.
Ngiyobheka ukuthi akhona nama exhibit angenile from ngakusukela ngo4 mangishayisa kuzoze kube ilanga elilandelayo kusasa ekseni ngo7.
I go to check as to whether are there exhibits that were booked in from 4 in the afternoon up to the 7 o'clock of the next day when I knock in for duty or when I report for duty.
if uthi akhona ama exhibit angenile ngaleyo 16-hour shift eyenzekile, then kuumsebenzi wami ke manje ukuthi ngiwasuse lapha eCSC ngiwase kwi SAP storeroom.
If it so happens that within that interval of about 16 hours, there were exhibits that were booked in during that time, it is my responsibility or my duty to take those exhibits from CSC to SAP 30.
And then when I register SACSC, we general exhibit register, EU SAP 13 SACSC. Ama exhibit lawa ngenela asuka register lapho ke kuleyo ncwadi wonke.
Now, there is a register that is called the General SAP 13 Register, Exhibit Register. The General SAP 13 Exhibit Register. All of the exhibits that have been received or booked in are booked in that register.
Right. Then mangwathatha ke lawo ma exhibits ngizowasaynela la kule register ukuthi ngiyawa receive manje eCSC.
Now,
asesa kweyami position storeroom SAP 13.
when I receive these or when I take these exhibits from CSC, I sign for them, indicating that I am now receiving these exhibits from CSC and will now be registering them in the SAP 13.
Just want to show you the original of a register. Just identify that register. My lord is being handed up as Exhibit X1. Can you just identify that?
Yeah, iyo le incwadi yase CSC.
This is the book from CSC.
Yes.
Ngizodi ungena kuyona kancane njengoba ithi SAP 13 at book number 7. So kusho ukuthi kulo nyaka lo ka 2015 kunezinye incwadi ezingaphambuka le from 1 up to 6. Mayigcwele le landelayo book number 8.
Now, since outside, it's written there SAPS 13 book number 7, it means before this book, there are other 6 books. And once those are filled up completely, then we get into the number 7 book. And after number 7 book, then there is the book number 8.
Yes. So ngathatha ke lama exhibit akule ncwadi ekhona ngaleso sikhathi la ngiwasayinele ukuthi sengawasusa eCSC manje ngiwasa to the main SAP 13 storeroom.
Now, I will take those exhibits and even sign for them and indicate that I am now removing these exhibits from CSC to SAP 13 store.
And then ayahlukana ke kuba na general exhibits engathi nje manguneza ama example bhuti ama cell phone ama ring ama watch zonke njalo.
Now, these registers are different. You've got
Not a registers, items of exhibits.
Okay, these items of exhibits are different. For an example, we'll be talking about your cell phones, your rings, watches,
including firearms.
nebhamuke khona lapho.
So ibhamuke zona ke zinomthetho wazo ongathi uthi phecelezi uma ziphuma eCSC ziya estoreroom.
Now, where firearms are concerned, there are peculiar rules that apply when they have to be moved from CSC to SAP 13.
The first ngixolela kancane. Oqala nje isibhamu sona mase siphumile kule register le yase CSC. Siyahamba siyongena futhi kulena ke register manje yase 13 esibiza ukuthi iFTR in short, okusho ukuthi firearm transfer register.
Now, once the firearms have been removed from the CSC register, the entries are actually removed from the CSC register, and they are now transferred into the SAP 13 book, which is called the FTR, which is the Firearm Transfer Register.
Is it correct that you are referring to Exhibit X2?
Yebo, kunjalo.
It is indeed, so I'm referring to Exhibit X2.
Ngoba ke sa-attend ama-course safundiswa ukuthi ama-exhibit akumele nje uhambe ufike uwaxavule ngesandla. We're using latex gloves to go and remove those exhibits from CSC to the storeroom.
Because we were trained that one does not have to use his uncovered or naked hands. We use the latex gloves to can pick up an exhibit and put it wherever it has to be taken to. Usho njalo ke uthi kumele sifake ama-glove ke ngoba ke ingxenye zobufakazi akuvumelekile ukuya ngendlela esaqeqeshwa ngakhona ukuthi umuntu angavela asebenzise isandla sakhe nje sinjalo ukuyisusa lapha la ikhona afika ayebeka la kumele ibe khona.
Ifuke siqhubeka ukuthi isibhamu ke mase ngisithathile ke or whatever ama exhibits mase ngiwathathile eCSC awase storeroom, then ngiyawateka, there kunama tag ngiyawamaka ukuthi lena i-exhibit SAP 13 bani, case number bani bese ke.
Now once I have taken these exhibits, it could be a firearm or whatever exhibit that I have taken from CSC and take them to SAP 13, then I have to tag them and also give them an SAP 13 number. So in other words, I mark them and give them an SAP 13 number.
Sikulungise lapho ntoni.
And the case number.
And the case number.
Silungise SAP 13 number. The SAP 13 number isifakiwe vele CSC.
Perhaps let's try and fix that one. SAP 13 number.
Sikhuluma nge-original angithi. Uyifakile lo muntu le exhibit la ne. Then mina ngakusasa ngiyayisusa ngiyisa ngalena. Ngizothatha lama entry lawa la njengoba injalo yabona ukuthi njalo sizoyikhopha la ku FTR njengoba kunjalo, we don't edit, we don't do anything. Uthatha kuzoba kubhalwe kanjalo kuse lapha kule ncwadi.
Now we take.
I-tag ingaki, it's a small thing like this. So i-tag is just nje ukuthi ngazi ukuthi le exhibit is 13 number so and so. I use the same 13 number.
Okay. Now, the SAP 13 number that is used, it is not a new SAP 13 number that is now allocated to that particular exhibit. It is the SAP 13 number that had already been allocated to that exhibit when it is removed from the CSC to the FTR book. As the entry reflects on the CSC book, so shall it also appear on the SAP 13.
And then mase ngizimagile ke, remember lezi zinto lezi engizilande CSC sesifakiwe vele ema-bagging, forensic bags, and they are sealed.
Let's remember that these items that I am fetching from CSC, they are already put inside of the exhibit bags or the evidence bags, and they are already sealed.
If ungafika eCSC ngithi ngizolanda le exhibit engenizolo noma ngaye efoni or yani, when I inspect the bag that is properly sealed, ngaze ngathola nje ukuthi ayisilwanga kahle angithathi leyo bag.
If it so happens that I go to collect the exhibits that have been received the previous day or yesterday, and I find out that there is an exhibit bag that is not properly sealed, it does not matter what item is inside of that exhibit bag. As long as it is not properly sealed, I am not going to take it.
I will inform our relief commander no CS commander ukuthi babuyise lo muntu ohendishe le exhibit la ukuthi abuye azo alaphansi ayilungise kahle ibe properly sealed.
I will then report or communicate that with the relief commander and as well as the CSC commander to summon the person that had submitted that evidence or that exhibit bag, and so that he can then be able to properly work with that particular exhibit.
So engisho ukuthi azikho impahla esuke CSC ziye kwi storeroom lesimine bengisigada ezingekho properly sealed, especially ama item amancane. Yebo akhona ama item amakhulu angaka le TV asinayo iplastic efake TV engaka.
What I'm trying to say is there isn't of the exhibits that would be removed from the CSC to SAP 13 under my watch that would then be received into the SAP 13 and it is not properly sealed. Yes, I need to concede to the fact that we do have bigger exhibits such as the size of this TV here. I want to say that we don't have the forensic bag for that.
Uma ke sengizirejistile ke lawo ma exhibit lawo ke la, then mina la ngisenze khola is a office is got a walk-in safe.
Now, after I have registered them, these exhibits in this register, we do have what is called the walk-in safe.
Yes. I walk-in safe ukuthi ungangena umile and you walk around this.
Yeah, that means you just walk in, as the name says. You walk into that safe while you are still standing, and you can still walk around inside of the safe.
But the walk-in safe which if I were steel and a concrete, there is no windows. It's only one safe door, which is this thick.
And it is a walk-in safe that is constructed with steel and the concrete as well. And the door, there's no windows. There's just a door that is as thick, a steel door that is as thick as this.
And njengoba ngangi-interested ke ngaleyo SAP 13, the keys, I was the only one who handling them. For example, namanje ngisaziphethe ezasebhanyini, njengoba ngila for the past 4 days, akekho umuntu ongenayo lapha. They have to wait for me because I'm the only one who's got the key.
I am the only person that is in possession of that key to the SAP safe, SAP 13 safe. I am right here, for an example, and the keys have been in my possession for the past 4 days. There isn't any person that has gotten access into that safe because I'm the only person that is in possession of those keys to the safe.
So, ipamu zehlala kuyo ki walk-in safe.
Now,
and bese kuba nenye esincane walk-in safe la kuhlala ama other izinto edurayo, ama-ring, amawasha, ama-cell phone, onke lezo zinto. But ipamu, they are only kept zona zodwa.
Now, the firearms are separately kept inside of the walk-in safe. We do have another walk-in safe in which we put other valuables such as the watches, cell phones, rings. However, my emphasis is that firearms are kept in their own safe.
So after logo sengizithekile ngazilabela because ibizwa ukuthi it's a labeling of the exhibits. Ziyakhiyelwa ngizithathwe ke zibekwe lapha bese ngiyakhiya ke.
Now after they have been labeled or tagged, we call that labeling. We take them, put them in the safe, we then lock them in there.
So once it's there ke hayi okwami nje sekugada ke ngilinde ukuthi ubani ozozofuna le exhibit nanokuthi funeka isiwe kuphi phela.
Now once they are in there, mine is to wait for any person that will be looking for that particular exhibit that is stored in there. Where should it be taken to? That's just what I will be waiting for.
And who would normally be looking for those exhibits, the firearms?
Kuyobe kuba ubani ke ozobe efuna lezo ingxenye zobufakazi ama exhibit la.
Isikhathi esiningi kuba i-IO ezayo for further investigation yakhe or maybe into iyafuneka ecourt or whatever the reason may be.
Many a times it would be the investigating officer so that they can further their investigations, or perhaps it is the item that is needed in court. Those are the people that would be coming to seek for those exhibits.
Yes. Thank you. If I can then, thanks for the explanation of the procedure. If I can ask you to turn to Exhibit X2. the firearm transfer register.
Yes, I can see it.
Yes. Just explain how many columns are there in Exhibit X2, the firearm transfer register.
SAP 13 in a column is 6.
Now, SAP 13 has got 6 columns.
Column okala, which is column number 1, even a sequence number, even a date, even a OP number, even a 13 number.
It's this one that's got the sequence number or serial number. It's got the date, it's got the OB number as well.
Usho ukuchaza lokuchaza ukuthi exhibit le yafika ngaluphi usuku lapha eCSC.
This explains what day did the exhibit arrive at the CSA. CSC. So,
And then the OP number le la ngoba yonke property elethwayo estation mawusuqedile ukuyifaka la uyayiregister kwi-OP kunencwadi okuthiwa i-OP occurrence book esebenza daily ukuthi so and so ufake i-exhibit as per SAP 13 number so and so. That's why there is an OP number.
there is an OB number in that same column. A person that is booking in any item, it will be recorded here, so and so has brought an item with SAP number, SAP 13 number, and as well as the OB number is given. The OB stands for the occurrence book.
Yes. And Captain, if I can just ask you, in light of your position as the commander of the SAP 13 store, do you have access to the records that are kept in the SAP 13?
Ngabe unako ke ama record walama exhibit afaka ku SAP 13.
Yebo akhona enye inkulu yiyo yona le SAP 13.
Yeah, we do have, and one of the main ones, it's this one that I'm having.
Yes, Exhibit X2, yes.
The Exhibit X2.
Yes.
Yes, the Exhibit X2.
Masiqhubeka siya column number 2. Column number 2 kufuneka kugcwaliswe igama lesiteshi ne case number nanokuthi le exhibit engene la yini charge yayo.
Now, when we proceed to column number 2 is there for the recording of the station and as well as the case number, the charge that is pertinent to that case number as well.
And then 3.1 is the main one. It's the main ukuthi akumele ukuthi uyishiye iblank because iyo le efaka ama details ukuthi yini le exhibit okhuluma ngayo.
Now, 3.1, it's the main column. This is the column that cannot be left unfilled because it does say what is it in particular that you are registering in or that you are bringing in.
And then sibe no column 4. Column 4 ke ama details omuntu oletha leyo exhibit lapho nanokuthi itholakale kuphi kanjani nanokuthi ine owner na bese yasayina ku 4.3 u 4.4 uthi mina Captain Mtshali imengilethele signature sorry imengilethele exhibit.
Now, column 4 has to do with the name of a person that is bringing the items, whether that item has got the owner, and finally that the person that is bringing that item